Looking for inspiration, I find myself going on the website behance.net. I personally enjoy going through the illustrations and photography categories. It gives me a good sense of what's current and trending among my creative peers. To me, this site is like the cream of the crop. The site showcases the best of the best graphic designers, illustrators, photographers, and CG artists in the field. I came across George Mayer's beautiful photo series of his wife. I love the fact that the photos look so clean and his lighting was so well done. Within the silhouette of the figure, his lighting focused strictly on giving you a face from that silhouette. After viewing his work, I was instantly impressed and inspired. If you want to see more of his work, I will leave a link to his website below in the description. Before I begin drawing, I start off by asking myself the question, what kind of brush or style do I want to use? To be honest, my go-to style is hatching, so I mainly go for the pencil brush. Next, I begin my initial sketch to lay the groundwork and get a gist of my composition. For some mysterious reason, I always start with the left eye. Technically their right eye, but it's the left for me, so we'll stick to that. Once I'm comfortable with the look and it shows a nice sense of depth and space with the face, I expand out and work on the eyebrows. I remember when I was younger and before drawing on an iPad or before digital illustration was even a thing, when you didn't get your proportions right, you had to erase and erase until you got it right. But now we don't have to worry about that anymore. We can just make a selection, make a quick adjustment, and then you're done. I really love it because sometimes you can like what you did, but if it was on paper, you basically had to erase that section and start all over. I want to mention the reason behind me choosing this very neutral background. I knew this would give me a nice solid foundation to help fill in some of the areas which might need shading. And compared to a white background, I would have to focus on covering that area up. And plus, when I added my lighting and highlights, I know it will stand out more. Now we can see her face coming more to life. I personally like leaving the outlines of my subject's outer features. I did discover though, that the less you draw, the more realistic your drawing can be. For example, there's no need to draw a hard line around her lips, just let the shadows and lighting define that for you. Moving on to the neck, I knew this was going to be a challenge because I'd never drawn a fabric like this before, so lighting was going to be crucial. I start with the base for each section and just add more layered details of the folds in the fabric. And now we move on to the highlights to help show us more light source and define the shadows more. I didn't want to get too crazy with it, but just enough to bring out the lighting, hitting her cheeks, nose, forehead, and chin. Looking at her hair, I wanted to be as free with it as possible, still keeping the gist of the style, but wildness of it. It almost looks like she quickly ran her fingers through it a couple of times and said, let's do this. Keeping the lively movement of the hair, but filling it in with simple hat strokes, I think it works. I wanted to keep some of her hair unfinished to give it a more freeing look. Being that my reference was strictly from a photo, I think this helps make it more of my interpretation of it. I loved how wild her hair was, and I wanted to keep with that energy. Sometimes when you're hatching a drawing, you just want to get the basis of the shadows down, and here, I wanted to show how her hair comes from behind, wraps her eye, and leaves. I felt no reason to fully complete the job. I liked the fact that her hair is incomplete. To me, it keeps it raw and interesting. Following with the simplicity of the image, I wanted to keep this a very quick and simple study of black and white. I love the sheer fabric of her top and how it folds around her neck and molds around the curves of her shoulders. It's almost like it's another layer of elegantly draped skin. I wanted to give myself the challenge of capturing this transparency. It was also important to understand and know which direction his light source was coming from. That's very important when you're trying to give your illustrations life. Without the contrast of light and dark, there's no depth and sense of space. Her neck, for example. Without that strong dark shadow under her neck, the image would just look flat. I think I did a good job capturing the sheerness in her shirt and the confident look in her eyes. Overall, I enjoyed the study, and I want to thank George and his wife for taking such beautiful photos. With that being said, I hope you learned something, and I would love to hear your thoughts and comments below. I'm open for commissions, so if you would like to see the process of how your portrait was created by me, visit my website at erictheleon.com to contact me and schedule a commission. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more future videos of my drawing process, hit that subscribe button. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next video.